Hey guys, it's Gary Wong from GaryWongRealty.com again. Thanks for continuing to watch the Rich Landlord, Poor Landlord 5-part series. Today is part 4. It's called the 5 stages of rental return on investment. So once again, to start off the video, the word of wisdom for today is you want to know if it's a good investment, just look at the numbers. So many people who become landlords, they rent their property out to tenants, and they're not sure if they're getting, if they're not sure if they're making money. They look at their mortgage and then they look at their rent, and it's like, oh, well, it's covering the mortgage, or it's not covering the mortgage. Well, maybe, am I losing money because it's not covering the mortgage? Well, maybe, but I heard something else. Well, this video is perfect for you. So I'm going to show you on my Excel spreadsheet the 5 stages of rental return on investment to show you whether you are making money or you're not making money. All right? Okay, let's go through the 5 stages of rental return on investment. So I'll go through this quite quickly. So stage 1 is titled "The Rent Covers the Mortgage Payment." So I'm going to start off with an example. So Joe bought a rental property unit for $300,000. His interest was 3%. Amortization 25 years or 300 months. Down payment 25% or $75,000. Mortgage payment approximately $1,000.67. First, the formula return on investment equals income over investment. So Joe's looking at the his rent. He gets $1,300 a month in rent. His expenses are the mortgage, $1,067. So he thinks that he's getting $233 of cash flow every month. So you take that and plug it into the formula of return on investment. $233 a month times 12 divided by 75,000, because his initial investment is the down payment, not the entire cost of the property. So divide that up, you get 3.7%. So you think that's a pretty good return, but you're missing out on Joe's forgetting about the expenditures, like strata fee, property tax, all that. So we'll move on to stage 2, which covers that. Stage 2 is titled "Does the rent cover the basic expenses?" So mortgage is $1,067, but strata fee is approximately $300. Property tax is $2,000 a month, or $167 a month. Home insurance $50 a month conservatively. Usually it's less. So his balance $1,584 of expenses, $1,300 of income. His balance is negative $284. So negative $284 times 12 divided by the initial investment to calculate an ROI of negative 4.5%. But like he thinks it's not doing too well, but he forgot a couple things. So what about if your tenant leaves in the future, or what if you want to go on vacation and you don't want to manage the property yourself? What do we do then? So we go into stage 3 of unexpected and future expenses. So the unexpected and future expense I'm talking about is vacancy allowance and property management. Vacancy allowance and property management are expense that top real estate investors incorporate into their calculation. Vacancy allowance is let's say 1 month out of the year, so 1 divided by 12 months equals about 8.3%. We'll round it down to 8%. So 8% of the monthly rent of $1,300 is $104. So you add that in. Property management allowance is about 10%, 8 to 10%, but we'll be a bit conservative. 10%, $130. 10% of the rent is $130. So you add them all up, you get $1,818 of monthly expenses, $1,300 of income. Cash flow negative $518. Plug it into the ROI formula, you get negative 8.3%. So it looks pretty gloomy and dim, right? But top real estate investors don't forget to add this. So stage 4 is your tenant is paying for your mortgage. Most people are they have a mortgage that's blended, that's half interest, blended between interest and principal. So in the beginning of the year, in the beginning of your mortgage, about 50% of your mortgage payment goes towards principal and 50% goes towards interest. Near the end of the mortgage, more like more and more of the principal is getting applied to the mortgage and less interest. So if your if 50% of your mortgage payment is going towards principal, actually your tenant is paying for your principal then. So we'll incorporate that. You got to incorporate that into your your income statement. So tenant's rent towards principal, $534. That's 50% of the mortgage. So the cash flow is then $1834 is the income, $1818 is expenses. You get $16. Plug it into the formula, you get 0.25%. The last but not least stage is this asset appreciation. Typical apartments appreciate approximately 3%. Obviously, it's not going to appreciate as much as a house, but let's say 3% asset appreciation. This property is $300,000, but we'll be ultra conservative. Let's say it just appreciates 1%. 1%, that's $3,000. 1% of $300,000 is $3,000. So it's about $250 per month. You add that in, you get $2,084 and $1818, 266 balance. Your cash flow is, your ROI is 4.3. Okay, so as you can see, we got an ROI of 4.3%. We were pretty conservative in a lot of our calculations. So the 4.3% is actually quite low. It should be a little bit higher. Obviously, we were a bit conservative when it came to vacancy allowance, property management, property tax, home insurance, all that. You know, if you have extra money, your tenant doesn't vacate, obviously that vacancy allowance and can be put towards your savings or property management. Let's say you manage them yourself, you can put that money towards savings as well. So obviously you'll have a higher ROI. So that's it for this video, part 4 of this series, Rich Landlord, Poor Landlord. Thanks for watching, and subscribe, comment below, and until next time, God bless you.